So I want to start this video off by saying that I do like. Oh my god. It's over already, bro. I gotta leave the country. I wanted to start the video off by saying that I do enjoy Radahn and I think he's a good fight. But I'm about to complain about him for the next 5 minutes, so the video is just trying to explain why I think he could have been done so much better. And I'm not talking about bugs or performance issues, although I know there's a shit ton and I'm aware of them. I'm just referring to intentional decisions made by the devs that kind of led the fight to the state that it's in now, which is not great. It's not horrible either, it's just kind of perfectly mediocre. Like in phase 1 and most of phase 2, Radahn's moveset is very standard in a good way. Like it has varying timings, making learning his attacks not spectacularly easy, but it also makes it extremely rewarding when you're able to recognize a move and of course dodge and punish accordingly. Of course, some of these openings are larger than others, where you may be able to get like an Ash of War or a longer incantation in. It's a balancing act that FromSoft has become very good at, where the player is rewarded for familiarizing themselves with a moveset. You might say that much is obvious because it's been around for like 10 years, so great, we have ourselves a Souls boss and we're in a good spot. But you might think it's just not quite there yet. And you're absolutely right. You know what we need? We need the Radahn double swipe. Just a pinch of dog shit. Because now we can take everything we've just established and go, you know what? Fuck all of this. I just want to fight where my only goal is to wait for this double slash attack to be thrown and then punish it. I have no-kit this guy more times than I can count on all of my both of my hands, and let me tell you, this fight is literally just avoiding punishes because you have a diagnosable phobia of this attack. And that's because, of course, the only way to dodge this attack is by being situated, like, directly on top of his right kneecap. Like that's it. Why wouldn't it be anything else? You can't dodge it when you're in front of him, or God forbid behind him. You just have to be holding his hand. But there's actually a very good reason for this, don't worry. It's because in lore, his right kneecap is actually... There's just no reason for this attack to be in his moveset. It contradicts every other move he can throw and reduces the fight to this, like, circle left, dodge left simulator, and I think it's horrible because the rest of this fight is actually very well designed. Even the clone attacks in phase 2, like, they gave everyone trouble at the start, but they're actually very consistent in their dodges. And of course, once you learn them, it's just a matter of time and putting it into practice. And that also goes to the follow-ups on his attacks in phase 2, which I know some people aren't a big fan of, but I personally think it's a very good example on how to properly encourage or punish a playstyle for the player. Like most players figured out pretty quickly that the key to avoiding these was to just roll forward and then be patient and wait for a reliable opportunity to heal or punish, rather than be punished for panic rolling away from these attacks. Once again, it's weird at first, but extremely rewarding, and of course the golden word consistent to put into practice. And all of this just so I can basically say that this double swipe attack feels not only inconsistent and unreliable to avoid, but also like unsatisfying when you do as a result. It's not like there's this huge punish that you're rewarded with for being able to dodge this move, or even just figuring out how to dodge it. The fight just goes on and then you wait for the next time he does it. In fact, not only is the attack itself terrible to deal with, but it throws the rest of the fight out of whack. Like other attacks, and specifically their punish windows, get just superseded by the fear that Radahn's gonna throw this attack next and catch you out. It doesn't make the fight skillfully precise, it just makes it boring and extremely repetitive. Like, I don't know why they did this. Imagine you just finished a full combo and then you want to get your Ash of War off, and you're so excited to get your Millennial Waterfowl off, and well, you can't because he might throw the double slash next. So it's just unfortunate to be you, I suppose. Like there's an argument for that being the biggest thing that's holding this fight back, but it's certainly not the only thing, and I want to take some time to talk about how annoying the terrain is for this fight. For a boss who is potentially 3 times your size and thus makes you look up at his ass with the camera, the only thing that you don't want to be worrying about is which ditch you're currently standing in while trying to avoid the double slash. Like, this terrain kind of reminds me of that one Margit fight in early Altus Plateau where he runs the fade for the second time from inside a bomb crater that's like half his size and just swipes at your ankles. Some spots in the Radahn arena just genuinely make the camera break, and if you've done a parry run on this guy, then you have definitely experienced the pain of being stuck in the huge trench that's dug out in the middle of his arena. To be honest, it's kind of insane how such small things like this just instantly turn the fight from what could have been comparable to a boss like Gale to a fight that is just known for its inability to do anything fun with. And Gale is generally acknowledged as like one of the best Souls bosses of all time, and I do think Radahn could have been at that standard, but it's just these things that hold him back. Like I don't understand why they did this. Like, am I cooked? Am I stupid? Again, I want to emphasize that my perspective is based on what I interpreted they wanted with the rest of this moveset, because that is the only thing that makes this double slash move so out of place and random. Just, in my opinion, these like this attack and a few small other things like terrain, etc., they just ultimately demote this boss from, like, again, greatness to just something that it forces like a kind of weird discipline on the player for absolutely no reason either. Anyways, that's about it. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. See ya.